Well, hello everybody, and welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of working on the free Craftsman 25cc gas blower. Now, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to swap out the spark plug, take the carburetor off, clean it, put it back on. Then we're going to drain the fuel out. Then we're going to go ahead and swap out the fuel filter, put another one on, and then we're going to try to start it without the starting fluid. And if it does not start without the starting fluid, then we're going to go ahead and use starting fluid to see if it starts. And then if it does, then that gives me the determination that the carburetor might be bad. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the spark plug boot from the spark plug. And let's see, I got a 3 3/4, all right, spark socket. All right, so move the camera back just a little bit so I don't strike it. All right, and then there we go. All right, so as you can see, nothing really looks wrong with the spark plug. All right, but I'm gonna change that anyway. So, all right, and here is the other one. All right, even though it does look like it is used, but I did check it and it's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and gap this one just to make sure. I got my spark plug checker here. Hopefully you all can see this. So it's got to be 25 thousandths, which is right. Hopefully you can see that right there. I'm trying to do the best I can. All right, so hopefully you can see that there. All right, so this one's gapped to 25 thousandths. I'm going to screw it back down in. Now I like to finger tighten the spark plug first before I put the socket wrench on it and give a little bit of a snug right there. Okay, put the spark plug boot back on. So now the second step that we're going to do is we're going to take the carburetor off, the cap off like that. Set the cap aside. Take the filter, set that in there. Now we need a hex screw or hex screwdriver to get these two screws out right there. All right. Oh, there you go. Just like this. All right, set that aside. All right, now I got to get a pair of pliers or a flathead screwdriver to pull down the fuel lines from the carburetor. All right, here we go. Take the paper gasket out too. All right, let's see here. Put it right, slide that down. Let's see. I pull this one here down too. All right, so put that there. All right, so now that we got the carburetor out, now we're going to go ahead and take the carburetor apart. Okay, this part, set that right there. This right here, the gaskets. So this there. And the other one's right here. All right. Try to put everything in the order that they come off. All right. And this there. Now we gotta do more. Take two. Like this. There. Okay. That. All right. Now we take the fuel screw as far as letting the fuel in and out. Okay. Spring right there. All right. So the carburetor, that's done. Here is the spring. Whoop. So here is this allows fuel in, shuts fuel off. Okay, got your screw, got the shaft The spring goes underneath this shaft right here because it's a little dimple right there. But it goes. The spring goes under that, and then this screw holds everything all in place. And that's what that looks like. All right. So let's set this stuff right there. All right. Set that right there. Gum out, jet spray, carbon choke parts cleaner. All right. And so I'm going to clean the carburetor with this. But as far as this paper gasket and this plastic gasket goes, I'm not going to use this carburetor gum out carburetor cleaner to clean these. So I'm not going to spray directly on these two gaskets because they will swell, they will get gooey, and I don't want that. So what I do is I take a rag or something, and I spray the rag with the carburetor cleaner, and then I go ahead and I wipe off the gaskets. So, all right. So let's spray this down. Make sure everything looks good. All right. Okay. That should be clean. So I'll set that aside. Like this part here. All right, because it doesn't look that bad.
As far as dirtiness wise.
Okay, that's that one. Take this plate here, right down. That. Okay, that one's done. Then the paper gasket I'm not going to touch. Also the primer bulb too, so I push the primer bulb through. Spray the plate down for the primer bulb, like that. All right. Yeah. Seems to be good. All right. The rubber tip here that allows fuel in, and to stop the fuel doesn't look to be damaged. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna let's see here. Start with this first. Clean this off, and I'm also gonna blow air through all the passages just to make sure. I just want to clean the carburetor off a little bit. Clean that plate off. Clean this plate off right here. That's good. All right, all the primer bulb I don't really have to do anyway, but I'm just gonna do it up here real quick here. Put it through. Okay. All right, and a little needle right here. Do that. Get that extra gunk off if there is any. That there. All right, so I'm gonna get my air compressor and turn it on, and go ahead and blow all the passages through there, and then we'll put the carburetor back together. All right, so my air tank's all filled up. Now we're gonna go ahead and blow all this stuff out. All right, but before I do that, so that way none of these parts go flying all over the place. So I'm gonna move this behind the camera, including all this stuff right here. Well, that stuff stays. All right, just these 4 parts are going to get sprayed on. Move the rag out. Things have a habit of time. Okay, that's cleaned. All right. So now that's cleaned. Now that's good. Drop it out, release. Last part. Okay. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put the stuff on the napkin right here. Now we're going to go ahead and reassemble it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and, so everything's all blown out, cleaned up, and done. Now we're going to go ahead and reassemble this. All right. So first thing we do, put this gasket the other way around, like that. Now we put this other paper one on top of here, get it lined up as best I can, like that. Okay. Now this part right here, so there's a hole here and there's a hole here. Then you flip it over. Okay. So it goes on just like this, just like, oh, and there's a guide pin right there, right my thumb's rubbing on. There's a guide pin there, the guide pin there. That guide pin goes right here, in right there. All right. So you want to drop it down just like that. All right. All right. Now we take the primer bulb here. Okay. So primer bulb goes back through like this. All right. And now hold it like this so it doesn't go all over the place. Put this right like that. All right. Now there is a round circle that's a round indentation circle right there that this fits right on. I was like that. Now we good. Make sure they're tightened up good. But I just don't want to over tighten them because if I do, then it strips out the heads of the screws. That's not a good thing. Okay, so that one's now done. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put the assemble the fuel pin. So there is a bar right there. All right, and right here is a, flip it over, it's like a little nipple, okay, sticking out this way, and an indentation on this side. So the indentation always faces down. So what has to be done is the pin's got to go through like this. All right, and needle, it's just like that. Set that right there. Of course, it's not going to always stay there. All right, the spring goes right. Okay, the spring goes right. I don't know if you can see that spring goes right there. So I put the spring, and it doesn't matter if it's which end it goes in. Spring goes right like that. Okay. And if I tilt it, and if the spring falls, it's going to do it anyway. Sometimes things don't go the way you anticipate them to go, but you just got to keep trying. Put it through. All right, now just set this right down like that. All right, take the spring. If I can stop chasing it here. All right, set the spring back where that goes. Now I can take this, drop this down there, and hold it down just like this, and make sure this guide pin right there is right in the groove. So you just gotta pop it down. There we go. Pop it down. Now we take the screw, put the screw right there. Just try not to lose it because it will fly out. Just tighten the screw down. Just like this. And when it stops, do not over tighten it, because if you do, you might strip it out. Just give a little bit of a snug. Okay, that's done. Now we put the gasket. Now the spinner, I call this like a little bit of a spinner. So this little spinner here faces down. All right. So this fits just like that. Oh, all the way around. Sorry about that. Okay, so fits just like this. My bad. Like, fits just like this. Hope you can see that right there. And this little notch and this little flange, I call it, right. Try to get my hands on it here. Right, a little right there. Actually fits right there. So this fits just like this, just like that. Okay, now I put the two screws. Okay, I'll tighten the screw down just a little bit so it doesn't come out. Same thing to this one. Put it in. Now I screw them down the same way until they stop. Do not over tighten. I mean, you can tighten them, but don't like over tighten them. Just like that. That's good. Same thing to this one. And carburetor is now complete. All right, so now that the carburetor is all cleaned up and done, I was gonna put the carburetor back on, but before I do that, I'm gonna actually drain out this fuel mixture and then put it in here before I put the carburetor back on, because sometimes sometimes easier, since carburetor's off, to go ahead and do this. So I'm gonna do this. Okay. Whoop, right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and dump this there. There we go. Okay, that's that. All right, now let's see something. All right, okay, that don't seem to be. All right, so there's actually nothing in the bottom of there, so this fuel can still be reused. I received this free. The gas that was in it was bad, so this is the gas I put in. So this gas is actually fine. All right, so I'm going to set that aside, set the fuel cap aside. Now right down there is the fuel filter. So I'm going to get another fuel filter here. All right, so here's my new fuel filter. Okay, so let me get a pair of pliers. This out. So let me put you all on an angle here so you all can see this. All right, so what I could do is reach down in there. I'm grabbing this one right here, but inside. Do this, and then keep doing it. Keep grabbing it up, itching up a little bit more, and there we go. Now I have to just pull it. Now, this fuel filter here does not look to be too bad. I mean, it is a little dirty, but it doesn't look black, as I'm trying to say. So I might possibly ever use this, but we'll see. So I'll set that one there. Here is the new one. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach my finger in there and put this new one on here. Okay, so the new one's in there. So let's shove this one back down in there. Okay, so it went down. I hope you can see that. Went down in there. All right, now we can take the gas. And here's where the fun begins. So let me bring you guys up here a little bit. So now let me do this. Hopefully you all can see this. Pour the fuel back down in here, because this fuel is fine. Doesn't look bad at all. And if anybody does this, you take your fuel out, you'll know right off the bat if the mixture is bad. All right, so let me put the fuel cap back on. It's like this. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put the carburetor back on. All right, so the primer bulb goes out this way. All right, goes just like this. So the primer bulb goes out. This is the throttle cable here. It goes in that round hole right there. Goes in just like this. So these two here go right here and here. So it goes just like in there, like so. And what I do is I push them all the way through like this. So I turn it just a little so you all can see it. Now what I do is I take the gasket, lift the carburetor up and stuff, slide the gasket in there, get it through the holes, and then I put it right there like this. Now I take my machine screwdriver thing here. You probably think, like, why do you do the fuel lines? There's a reason why I'm doing this, and I'll explain to you just as soon as I am done tightening these screws up. Okay, that's done. All right, now by me putting the carburetor gasket, air filter, the air filter attachment, the air filter goes on to first, is because now I don't have extra fuel lines to cut and redo the fuel lines, because the fuel lines on it, one of the fuel lines now is actually cut. It looks like it's been coupling by a yellow coupler, which is a rubber piece of yellow fuel line. Okay, I don't have extra fuel line, so that's why I put the carburetor on first. Then I go ahead and I put the fuel lines underneath it, wiggle it on, all right, with like a pair of pliers or something, carefully, of course, and then that way. So that's the reason why I do it. All right, so right now, the link's on, carburetor's on, everything's tightened up. Now we got to go ahead and put the fuel lines on, which again, it's not that hard to do. Okay, it's not like majorly difficult, but all right. So this one right here, goes right here. Just gotta wiggle it out a little bit. Okay, and if I have trouble, take my pliers easily. I'm not gonna crimp it, just gonna pull on it. There you go. That goes on like that. Now I take this one. Now this one right here can be a little bit of a boozwacky, but like I said, if I just do nice and slow, it'll go on like that. And when now I can't take the pliers and feed that one. So what I do is I push it up. There we go, like that. And those are now, let's see here. So that is now, that's on there. Okay, so that's that. Okay. So now I can go ahead and put the air filter back on. Okay, square. Even though it's a little dirty. Okay. It should still be all right for now. I just want to see if it'll run. Okay, because it ran in the first video, it ran and then it stopped, but then it doesn't run. And I also tried starter fluid, and it still did the same thing. It didn't do anything. All right, so that's all set. All right, so I got my starter fluid right now, so I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to go ahead and prime it. So it's prime it 6 times. 1, 2. Of course, I have to keep priming it because remember the carburetor was cleaned. Okay, now I'm going to switch it to start. All right, and let's see here. Got that all set and done. That's on run. Give it one more prime for good luck. Now we're gonna try to start it. Okay, now that's what you want. Now you want to switch it over to run, and pull up on the trigger here. Let me move the camera for you all. All right, pull up on the trigger here. And nothing. Okay, now nothing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the carburetor cover off. Okay, set that aside. Air filter, set that aside. Now we can take the engine starting fluid, spray in there. Show you. I spray in there, right? A few squirts. All right, pull up on the trigger. That's what? 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Got my finger on the trigger. And it dies down. Changed out the spark plug. Took the carburetor off. Cleaned it. Put it back on. Well, took the carburetor off. Cleaned it. Took out the fuel mixture. Changed out the fuel filter, put the new fuel filter, gas in, put the carburetor back on, started it without starting fluid, and you saw what it did. It didn't do nothing. Is the carburetor has like I guess mechanical springs or something mechanical inside of the carburetor. All right, that whenever you prime it or not prime it, whenever you choke it or whatever, things like that. Things that the springs inside mechanism have a habit of going bad over time. Now I do not know what year. I don't know what year this gas blower is. I tried to look it up online. I don't know what year it is. I tried, and all right, folks. I don't think this gas blower is going to run. All right, even if it runs and it automatically shuts off. The carburetor is toast. I don't think it's going to work. I think I need a new one. Like I said, I didn't know the condition of the inside of the carburetor, but like I said, as I was taking it apart, cleaning it, when you all see this video, if you see anything that doesn't look normal, leave a comment below. So just leave a comment below so I know. But yeah, gas, spark plug, I did everything, and it's still not going. So I think the carburetor is bad. So I guess, like I said, this is going to be part 2. Yeah, which it is. So that's going to be it for this video until I get a new carburetor. And I'm going to actually probably just buy new spark plugs anyway because my weed eater, I need a new spark plug for it anyway. So while I'm out there, I'll just get new ones anyway. So, all right, folks, that's going to be a video. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the video. And see you on part 3 when I get the new carburetor, put it in, and see what happens. Bye for now.